Hey, 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 BA fam. Ever need a few good words of encouragement while you're forging your own path? Well, we have a show for you, and that's why I was trying to do my little gospel singing, because it's called Good Words with Kirk Franklin. You can tell it's been a while since I've been to church. Sorry, Kirk. On this weekly podcast, Kirk Franklin invites guests from every walk of life into candid conversations exploring faith, comebacks, and the realities of today's world. These conversations will inspire and empower you to push through your tough times through shared moments, no matter how messy. So go on ahead and listen to Good Words with Kirk Franklin, hosted by, Kirk Franklin. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, we back. We black. We
body roll.
Brown. Ambition, 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 ambition. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Tiff. I love your dress for summer. I'm dressed in my cozy knits for fall.
Man, we are clearly
we live in the same
friends.
climate.
Yeah, we are clear, because literally I took a look and that I was going to say the exact thing. I was like, Mandy's just for fall and I'm clearly just for summer.
Well, I went to a pumpkin patch apple orchard yesterday. So, I think I've officially, I'm ready for a little pumpkin spice in my latte. I'm ready. I can't do the August, pumpkin spice, that whole vibe, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it now.
Yeah, no, it's Libra season. My birthday is 10/16 if you're trying to buy me a present. I'm an October Libra, the real Libras. Sorry for you September Libras. So yeah, honestly,
I'm a Leo, so I have no idea what your sign means. That's how Leos roll. We just care about ourselves.
Leos are supposed to be. I've heard that Leos are very good looking, which obviously
we love
that's
talking
true
about
for
ourselves. Good looking,
really? Well, that's what I've heard.
And also,
I know, right? I'm just making stuff up. No, but I also heard Leos are you're strong. You're the lion, so you're strong. You're savvy. Jarrell was a Leo, so strong.
I know, savvy, we were almost same B days.
Almost birthday twins.
Yeah. Well, do you have any birthday plans?
Not on my actual birthday, but I am going to Dubai at the end of October. Oh, that's right.
Dubai.
Yeah, I'm going to Dubai. You're like, what's Dubai? I'm like, that's my fancy way of saying Dubai.
I know. It's Du Bois? W-E Du Bois? Dope. Just vacay?
Yeah, so a friend of mine, Keena, she does this thing called the Dubai Blackout every year. It's 7 years old. And she brings anywhere from 200 to 500 Black people to Dubai every single year. It's amazing. Damn. And so they roll out the red carpet for her because it started off because there was one time a fare glitch, like an airplane, fare glitch, which made tickets $100 or something crazy. And so I'm part of this Black travel group called Nomadness that my friend Avita runs. She kind of started the face focused Black travel movement with Nomadness. And so Keena's a part of it. And so when there was this fare glitch, hundreds of Black travelers bought tickets. And they were like, so now what? And so Keena was like, oh, let's just organize something. And she just organized a hell of a trip, apparently. And so she's been doing it every year, and it looks so awesome. And so I'm so excited to go to Dubai with a whole bunch of Black folks cutting up. I'm bringing my sister. I think Cabral might come too, my fave. So we're going to have a good time. It's a week long. And yeah, so it's my birthday trip to myself.
That's lovely. Mm-hmm. You know how to do it up. I took a ferry in Newburgh, New York. That was my big birthday trip.
I've been trying to, the last few years I've been trying to take a trip. I used to always travel with my friend Madeline. Me and Madeline used to she has this company called Traveling Mad.
I've never heard of a friend named Madeline.
And so we used to go to we went to one year we did Paris and Prague. One year we did Madrid and Morocco. We were into alliterations. One year we did Bahamas. So we used to go every year and have just it's crazy because Madeline lives in Newark. And when I tell you I never see Madeline, ever, we would only see each other on our annual trip. Hey girl, I know you live down the street, but we're travel friends. But then Madeline just had a baby.
Friendships like that.
Yeah, so she just had a kid. So she's like, you know how it is with these kids.
That's annoying. Now she's useless.
No, but she actually just hit me the other day. She was like, girl, this baby's 3 now. I finna hit the road again. Where we
going?
See,
that's how I feel. Rio's turning 3 and I feel the same way. I'm definitely going on a solo trip. I I decided, because I don't know, I just didn't realize until I finally went to like Orlando for that conference that I had permission to just go by myself. And I don't have to actually find a trip that me and my husband both like and that's good for the child. I can just go by myself.
Yeah.
And
So where
it
do you think
feels
you're
very
going to go?
empowering. I told you I really want to do one of those. I know I've seen so many. I know you've done like Sedona, that Arizona vibe.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And
Yep.
then I just randomly, someone was raving about Idaho and how beautiful the scenery is. And I really enjoyed. Is Montana next door to Idaho? I've been there. Glacier National Park. I want to go somewhere like that and make it like a wellness type thing.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking into. If you guys know, actually someone did send me a DM about a trip. So thank you to whoever you are. I don't have your name pulled up, but I need to look into that because I think that would be fantastic. And I have not traveled really well in such a long time. So I'm ready to get back out there.
When you travel, like, are you super like budget conscious, or like what's your financial travel vibe?
Listen, I like to think that I paid my dues as far as like roughing it. You know,
Same.
after college, I lived in South America for 6 months. I used to couch surf before Airbnb, y'all. We had couch surfing, and I feel like Airbnb killed couch surfing, but it was when like just nice people would let you stay with them for free. And you would sometimes get like tours and meals made for you. It was so lovely. And I just like couch surfed my way around Chile and Peru and Argentina and, you know, and hostels and all that, you know, so I did it. I did that. Check. And now I think I am definitely like, I don't want to struggle. You know, I want to enjoy. So I think I am budget conscious on things that I don't value as much, but my bed I value. Like I need a good place to sleep. I want good food. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like quality over quantity.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. Because same as you. Like I didn't travel in my 20s, but my early 30s, I started to travel. And I did all that, like to your point, because I didn't have any money. So couch surfing, hostels, all that, you know, like flying in the, you know, whatever the cheapest middle seat I could get, you know. And I'm glad that I did it because I just really wanted to get to the destination. But now the way these knees are set up at 42, going on 43, I'm like, the way my back sets up when I wake up, girl, I'm like, oh, okay now.
Like now I understand why they have those massagers in the airport. I'm like, who goes to those? Now I'm like, I'll be late for my my layover. I need to pop in there for a quick
I used to think that too, but yeah, I'm like, the way these creaks and cracks are set up, that like same, that like you know, and I just started traveling first class regularly, like I want to say last year. I know. I was like nervous too. It's almost like someone posted, I thought it was funny. It's almost like I don't eat like the snacks out of the mini bar in the hotel because it's like you feel like you're going to ruin your family's financial future somehow if you eat the snacks out of the mini bar. And so first class, this just seemed excessive. And even now I have rules. If the flight is like under 2 hours, I'm not going to do first class because it doesn't really make sense. You know, like a 2-hour flight to me is really like, and I'm just like, I'm just like, you know, you get like, I guess for me, it's kind of like, I'm just in and out and I don't want to spend 3 times the amount, you know, just to be on a flight for an hour and a half. But above that, above 2 hours, then like I get first class. Even if it's the budget Nista, it feels wasteful. Like, even though it's like not coming out of my own pocket, I'm like, it's an hour and a half flight. It's a 45-minute flight. Typically for those smaller planes anyway, first class are just like these 3 seats in the front. And it's like, so I'm paying 3 times more just to, it's not like, oh, the seats are better or whatever. It's just like, it's just the first 3 seats. So, so yeah, I just started flying first class regularly, only with those kind of parameters. And maybe, you know, I'll switch on over when my wealth gets wealthier. But yeah, I'm definitely someone now who, you know, I like a really nice hotel. I do like to eat good food. I'm still much like a walker. I love going on tours and things like that. So my activities are not like pricey, but the accommodations are more pricey now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm such a fan of like paying for an experience, like paying for a tour now, especially food tours. You can go to some really nice food tours. And it's actually, I think it's economical when you think about, you get to like taste different foods when you're in a new country at a bunch of different restaurants that maybe if you added up full meals, it would be expensive. And now you got me thinking, like, I have a lot of points on my Chase card because finally we started like spending money again on eating out and things like that. But is Chase. It's been a minute since the Chase Reserve came out. What are the kids saying today about travel cards? Like, what's the hot new bay on the street? That's what I want to figure out.
It's still that Chase Reserve. Remember, I used to call the Chase. I never could get
Chase
the name
Good
right.
Time card. Yes.
What the Chase? I'm gonna go on a trip card. So like that Chase Reserve card, still a fan favorite. Also, too, Amex. Especially for business. Okay. It's a fan favorite. This is because I was just looking for a personal card because I finally decided to join the big girls of personal finance and put all my bills on a card to get my points. You know, I've never done that.
I'm sorry, what?
So you know how like, so a lot of people, like anybody, if you are responsible or you have enough to pay off all your bills, like a personal finance person might suggest to you, put all your bills on a specific credit card that gives you the points related to what you want to do, travel, gas, cash back. Yeah. But put all your bills on that card and just pay the card off every month because you're responsible, or at least you have the finances. And I don't know why I was hesitant to do so up until like 2 months ago. For finally, I was like, Tiffany, every bill, even when I go food shopping, everything goes. I have an Amex Gold card because I already have platinum for business. So I got myself an Amex Gold card and I put everything on there and I just pay it off once a month. And I'm like, why did I wait so long? And so what I love about Amex is that all of the points typically go to the same bucket. So 3 of my business, so I have the Amex Gold, the Literature Academy has a platinum Amex card, and then the Budgetnista has a platinum Amex card. And what's so great is that all of our points pool in the same bucket. So when I'm at Whole Foods, it goes into my points bucket. When I swipe for Budgetnista, it goes in the points bucket. So it's like, right now I have like 500,000 points in my points bucket for my cards. And so that's what I'm doing now. Like I don't use cash or my debit card anymore because I'm like, Tiffany, you pay it off every month in full. So instead, I'm not paying any interest because I'm paying it off every month. So it's not an extra cost to me. It's just, and honestly, what I do is every 2 weeks, so I don't forget, I just pay off whatever the balance is. And so I feel like, ooh, because all my Hasidity friends in personal finance were like, girl, you late. How you think we go on these trips?
What were you doing before? Yeah, girl, what were you doing before?
Letting things come out of my bills account or just swiping my debit card.
So, because for me, like, I know that you were in the hot seat last week. And by the way, I feel like the audience has loved those 2 episodes that we did. They did. We got so many sweet messages. And I think it was such a great, like, I don't know, representation of our friendship and our respect for one another. And I'm like, everyone needs, like, if you don't have a Tiffany or a Mandy, you can find one, and find that person to share with. But yeah, so business expenses, I just sort of like put in my mind, they have to go on my business credit card. I'm a baby business owner, so I have the cute little
that's true.
Capital One Spark card, nothing fancy, no fee. And it's 2% cash back. So it's not bad. But I completely separate. If it's a business expense, I put it on the Capital One. And when I was traveling for that trip, I was like, dang, you know how much I could be making if I put it on my reserve card? But something told me, just put it on the business card, keep it separate. Yeah.
No. So that's what I do too. But I just realized I have 3 credit cards. I've got my gold personal Tiffany card, Amex. As far as Amex is concerned.
Oh, so one of those is personal. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the gold card. And then my Literature Academy and the Budgetnista have separate Amex platinum cards. So what I like is that, like, even though, so whenever, like, you should see me sometimes, I'm like, wait, what am I getting? Okay, wait, this is business
at the checkout, all the cards.
Yeah, literally. So I'm like, swipe. But what I love is all the points I earn go to the same bucket. That's what I was saying.
Oh, so irrespective
they don't have
of
separate.
Like they don't care if it's a business that's
but so now you can't separate them because I call
them a small
them
business credit card.
Okay. Yes, and so I do honestly, I have to say for the way I use Amex, it's very because one, it offers what I like about this is not an Amex commercial. They ain't pay me. Y'all need to pay me. Amex.
Yes, really. But hey, if you know anyone there who wants to endorse.
But what I do like about Amex is it's the point, but I really like the protection, especially for business. That with a regular card, if something happens, they wait and see before they give you your money back or whatever. With Amex, you get your money back right away. They're very customer centric, and that there's so many layers of like protection. In like I just lost, for example, I lost my Budgetnista card. I don't know where I put it, and so I raced home to see had it been used, and thankfully it had not. But online, it was super easy. I was able to cancel it. And I was able to order a new one. It came the next day in the mail. They're like, girl, we do not want you to pause in spending. Continue to swipe.
Yeah, please.
And so, but yeah, no, that's what I like about Amex is like, yes, they have these great points. Plus, too, when you purchase things with Amex, like there are extra protection. Like, for example, I did not know this, but if I put like, sometimes when I'm traveling, I'll get like, rent a car and I always get the insurance. But do you know if you use your Amex card, whether it's your business or your personal, depending what kind of trip it is, you don't have to get insurance. No, actually, that's not Amex. That's actually your Chase card. With Chase,
I was going to say, that's what I love about the Chase card.
Yes, you don't have to get insurance, and it comes with it. I was like,
and they still try to sell you. They're like, you sure? I'm like, no, I'm a reserve member. They should know by now. Don't mess with us. If you feel that metal card in your hand, just save the sales pitch. You're not getting us.
I just, when you like, if you're someone who's ready to like use credit cards, responsibly, because I wasn't always, child, I used to be wild and reckless.
Same.
So we're not judging. But if you are, there's just a lot of benefits that you can lean into if you pay off your card every month in full, and you use it responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yeah. Oh, so I spoke with like a millionaire today, Mandy. We have to have him on.
Okay. What's a millionaire?
Meaning like there's like there's millionaires like me who are like, girl, baby toe in, it's cute over here, but I sit at the kids' table. Right? Okay. I know Mandy's one of how I feel. I'm like, that's how I feel.
We're gonna let you be humble about that for like, what I like about
So Cedric, I met him at Invest Fest and he reached out to me at Invest Fest because he was like, he has a book coming out. Which it sounds really awesome. It's like something like Black Guide to Wealth. Why should the white boys have all the fun, or something funny like that? Which I love.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I know. I was like, man, he's gonna love that. Like, ooh, bring him. So, what I like about Cedric though is that he didn't start off with a lot of money, but he had millionaire mentors who taught him how to grow. He's in his 50s, so he's like, this is like a 30-year process. Who taught him how to, like, you get a little bit, you set it aside, you buy some property, you get a little bit, so he is a very step-by-step practical guide to how he grew his millions. He also started a software company and he was sharing how like sometimes revenues are upwards of $90 million a year. So that's what I mean by millionaire. Like, I'm still very much like new to that space, but he's been in the space for about 30 years. Plus I love just talking to him. He's like such a regular guy and what I love is that he's really committed. He's like, I've made plenty of money. I am committed to helping other people figure out how to do this, because there's nothing special about me except for the consistency. And no one is telling you, well, I have $20,000. What should I do? I got a $50,000 bonus. What should I do? And so he was just really awesome. So and honestly, I was chatting with him today because he wanted advice about, book marketing. And I was like, Cedric, your goals. He was like, no, your goals. I'm like, no, Cedric, your goals. So it was just really awesome. He's just such a nice guy. And I was just like, this is, so many people who I know are, who are newly wealthy and who, so we're all figuring it out together. Because if I'm honest, I know how to make money. I know how to save money. I know how to manage money, but I don't feel super comfortable managing wealth, if that makes sense. That's why I have Anjali, my financial advisor, but even still, like, for example, I think I want to get another house. I think I want to buy a house in like this really cute town called South Orange, which is next to Newark. And then probably my sister and the kids will stay here. So my knee-jerk reaction is to purchase that house in cash. Like 500, 700,000, whatever it's going to be, to purchase in cash. I know, because Mandy's like, right?
I thought we talked about this. Okay,
I know.
Go ahead.
But Cedric is like, or to your point, Mandy, you could take that 5 or 6 or 700,000 and then get this apartment building in Jersey City that generates, $10,000 a month or whatever. Go get a mortgage. And I know you're like, mortgage, Tiffany? Because, part of me is like, still like, what if it all falls down? That go get a mortgage that costs you like 3 or 4,000, but you're making 10 on this side. So I told him that he's my wealth mentor. And he was like, all right, that's fine. As long as you, you can be my book mentor. I said, Cedric, I'm just out here interneting, figuring it out. Yeah. And so, I just thought about that, like just in general, but it's just interesting to hear someone who has spent his lifetime slowly but surely growing wealth in a way that's not popular, that's happening now, which is, there's nothing wrong with like, you know what I mean? Because I'm part of that, like kind of like upstart wealth. And so but I feel like the way he's grown his wealth is very attainable for many people versus when people ask me, I'm like, honestly, if I had not started the Budgetnista, what's the likelihood you're going to start a Budgetnista? So I don't like speaking about wealth from a place of just do like me. What? Start the budget needs to during the Great Recession? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, I just say all that to say that like, probably not until like, his book comes out in January. So maybe in January sometime, but he was just an interesting chat when he just was really like, these are really solid, non-scammy. He's not selling anything, just like I want us to do better and we can. So yeah. So honestly, I'm just really loving because I've created space for myself. I'm loving having these conversations with just awesome people just for conversation's sake. And so he was just someone who I was like, oh, wow, I talked to a lot of people who've made a lot of money, but he's the first person that I've talked to that's made it like the slow and steady wins the race way. And at this level.
Classic,
where,
traditional.
Yes, attainable classic
like
traditional.
A nice blue suit.
Yes, and I just was like, it'd be nice to have that kind of perspective of like, hey, if you don't want to start some big old business, what does that look like? Slow and steady wins the race. And like, like I said, he's just a really nice guy, so. Hey, BA fam. Can we talk about notifications for a second? Who actually leaves those sounds on anymore? Well, besides that kind, that's another sale on Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. What I like about Shopify is that it makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. You can start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of your favorite businesses worldwide, including the Budgetista.
Yeah, and if you guys, BA fam, have ever purchased one of our beautiful Brown Ambition shirts from our merch store, you can thank Shopify for that. And listen, I learned how to set up that store myself. It was super simple. Even if you haven't started a business yet, it is so easy to start and grow a business thanks to Shopify. BA fam, you can sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/brownambition. All lowercase. So go to shopify.com/brownambition to start selling online today. Shopify.com/brownambition. Hey, VA fam. Squarespace is everything you need to sell anything. Squarespace has the tools you need to get your business off the ground, including e-commerce templates, inventory management, a simple checkout process, and secure payments. I know of what I speak, y'all, because ever since I launched my business in 2021, I built my website on Squarespace and I've handled all of my orders from Squarespace. It could not be easier to build your site. I just learned how to do a sales page, all that good stuff. What I also love is that you're able to manage the members in your community on Squarespace, and you can send them email communications and leverage your audience insights all in one easy to use platform. You can even present videos from YouTube, Vimeo, and Animoto on your Squarespace site, and then check out your analytics, see how your visits, unique visitors, and page views trend over time. Gain insight into the top traffic sources, the products, the devices people are using, their browsers, all their tea. You own all the content you put on the Squarespace platform too, and they offer one-click data portability. So head to squarespace.com/brownambition for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code BROWNAMBITION to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace.com/brownambition. Offer code BROWNAMBITION.
Oh, I see we have a guest coming on.
I can't wait to meet her. You've been talking about this. I almost called her a young lady again. What am I, a boomer? This woman, this badass for a while. But tell us about Deja. Who is this lady? Why is she here?
So Deja is one of my newest mentees, like my real life in-person mentees. So I met Deja because I noticed that I always check my numbers for Get Good with Money, my book. And I noticed that I had this huge uptick. And I was just like, this is not, it literally was like sales had doubled, like 2.5. Like normally I sell maybe like an 800 or 1,000. It was like 2,400 one week. And I was like, that's unusual. So I searched my socials. I was like not TikTok. I said Instagram. Nothing special there. Facebook, nothing special. Twitter. But I was like, it's something. Someone has said something. And maybe it's in a magazine or but I feel like if that happened, someone would have tagged me. But because I'm old-ish, it ended up being TikTok. And the only way, because I have a TikTok, but y'all know I don't be going there. Someone actually shared the TikTok on Facebook, which is where I found it. Because that's the only way I was going to see it.
Oh,
and
girl.
It was this beautiful Black woman shouting out Get Good with Money. And it was such a great endorsement. I never met her. She had the book and she was just saying how awesome it was and how she's like, I have a Roth IRA, guys. I have a Roth IRA. It was just so awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then like I saw that it was like, had like, over 100,000 views, all these comments. And so I found her on TikTok and I found her on Instagram as well. I ended up like reaching out to her. It was like, thank you so much. If you're ever in Jersey, let me know. We can link up. And she was like, actually, finna be in Jersey this week. I was like, really? And so we ended up like hanging out and she was so dope. I was like, you're my new mentee. You're my new mentee. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And so we wanted to have Deja come on because she's also, honestly, Deja doesn't even need a mentor. She's one of these, I'm going to win no matter what, which is like the best type of mentor because I could just get a front row seat to her winningness.
She's so funny too. I started following her after you talked about her.
Yeah,
she is Deja Says So on TikTok. We'll put a link in the bio. I mean, look at me in the bio, in the notes.
Yeah, we're going to link your TikTok. So Deja, come on up. She's here with us.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Deja. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So Deja, tell us a little about yourself. For one, tell us like, what do you do? Who are you? Let the people know.
Oh, well, my name is Dasia Miles Langane, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I currently take classes at Northeastern. I own a business. I owned a vending machine for a little while, which was inspired by the Dreamcatcher Facebook group, actually. And I do TikToks occasionally and shout out people's books as well.
So
what do you study?
Go ahead.
Or that too. Because I'm an old lady. I'm like, tell me what you're studying.
Well, I am doing a certification in project management at the moment.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Okay. So business wise, is the TikTok the business?
No. So I did an internship in 2019 in New Jersey called Development. And one of the requirements was to create your own business concept. And my business concept was centered around self-care. It started off as a skincare brand, but during that same summer, I had lost my cousin due to like mental illness as well. So I kind of shifted the direction to more mental health centered. So I create skincare, self-care products, and just try to be a light for people on the internet as much as I can by providing them with products to also like indulge in themselves or take a moment to like connect with yourself on a more intimate level.
Oh, well, we're sorry about your loss, Deja. Can you share what's the name of your company? Maybe people want to. We'll share the show notes, like the link in the show notes.
Sure. So my business is called Sincerely Sanguine, which is an actual real word, which people don't know. So sanguine means optimistic or positive in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Mm-hmm. And sincerely is like the sign off or also like to mean genuine. So you're sincerely optimistic or positive in an apparently bad or difficult situation.
See, that's why she's my mentee.
Do you make this stuff yourself? Because I thought you were like I was like, oh, she's a book talker. That's like her thing. But no, that's just like on the, okay. All right. Okay. Nice. Do you make the products yourself?
I do. I've been doing it since 2019, obviously, but I do make them myself and I use them myself. So I know that they work.
I can see your glow.
I know. I was like, if you guys are not watching us on YouTube, you're lost because Deja is glowing on here. She's adding to the melanin like display between, we have every range.
Thank you.
Awesome. No. So
Go ahead. Sorry. Me and Mid like,
I was going to ask for anyone because how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
No, I don't mind at all. I'm 24 years old. I turned 25 December 25th of this year.
Oh, will you be best friends with my cousin Anna? She's 24 and she's also really interested in the mental health wellness space. So that's my first question. My second question is for people in their early 20s, what advice do you have for someone wanting to start a business? And it sounds like you've had a couple. You had a vending machine, then also the skincare line. So what interested you in starting a business and like any advice for young people listening?
So my initial life plan that I had for myself was becoming a teacher. I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then the pandemic hit. So I figured, no, I'm not teaching on Zoom. That's not going to be my introduction to teaching. So because of the internship, I had a business. So I figured I will just kind of like jump around from job to job and focus on my business. So that's what I ended up doing. In terms of advice for people that are interested in starting a business, I would say figure out what industry you would like to get into and then research people that are doing what you're interested in doing. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I also leaned on my resources because there are people who, well, for development, they have a business. So I would ask them questions, and we also have a cohort. So people in the cohort, I would also ask them questions. So I would just say do your research, figure out which industry you want to go into, and trust yourself. It could be a scary process, especially if you're the first business owner in your family. But if you have a desire and this is something that you're passionate about, just trust yourself and be willing to do that. Step out on faith and be willing to do that.
That was really, like, honestly, like, I couldn't have phrased it better. That's such great advice for people who are just kind of like starting out, just figuring it out. So yeah, I meant to share, that's how I met Deja. I spoke at Development. It's a nonprofit that helps young Black kind of like future or fledgling entrepreneurs. And a friend of mine sits on their board and was like, "Hey, Tiffany, could you come and speak?" And I said, "Sure." And so that's how I ended up meeting Dasia. So share with us, if you don't mind, kind of like, where are you on your financial journey? You know, like, how's that going? So that way someone who might be in your age range can kind of get a gauge of like, oh, the good, the bad, the ugly. We don't mind. No judgment here.
Sure. So if I'm being completely honest, I'm only 90% whole because I haven't finished the last chapter of your book, but I've just been like really busy. But I'm pretty sure I have the information that I need at this point with the 90%. But I feel like because of your book, I have a good gauge on where I want to see myself financially. You asked me where I see myself in 5 years, and I said I want to own a house, which wasn't realistic, but I just like said something. So realistically, loans are my main priority right now, but due to Biden, where I can get that forgiven. I get 20%, 20,000 forgiven because I did get the Pell Grant.
Okay.
Oh, nice. What does that leave you with? Is that all of it?
No, I have 4,000 left, but I can knock that out.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting a face to the life-changing like impact of that policy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So loans is top priority. Savings for retirement. You said put a name to your future self, and my future self's name is Tony Childs, after Tony from Girlfriends, because that's my favorite show.
First of all, for the fact that that's her future self. Meanwhile, that's me now. I'm like, Deja, don't make her feel old.
She's like, yeah, I love to watch old shows on TV, vintage.
That's my life.
Girlfriends, period pieces. Not being a Black woman in America.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. So Tony Childs, which is me now, literally. I'm like, damn, okay, go ahead.
Also progressing in my business, finding a way to be more consistent. I feel like when I'm consistent, I do well. But because I just do so much, it's kind of hard balancing everything. I didn't say this, but I do Taekwondo. I just recently got my black belt. So that was taking up a lot of my time.
Of course you did.
So that was taking up a lot of my time. So now that I've done that, I still want to contribute to my class because they do like this like loyalty. You have to be loyal to your dojo. So I have to contribute to that. But I also want to like put myself first and do what I want to do. So business, loans, and just preparing for my future are like my three main top priorities at the moment.
Can we get into like so where are you now? Is this your apartment? You live with your folks? I
live with my dad currently.
Do you have like a little like science like lab where you're concocting skincare stuff there? How do you do skincare stuff? How do you go from the idea to making the product to selling it? Like, what's your whole like business look like? I'm curious about that.
Well, I know that cleanliness is very important. So I make sure I like sterilize everything, make sure everything's clean. Again, this comes in terms of, like when you see what other people do and what you shouldn't do. I've seen other businesses, cleanliness is not the top priority. So for me, cleanliness is the top priority. And I make sure that a lot of my products have the consistent preservatives in them so that you're not getting bad batches. Also, I make sure I'm on top of the batch type so that if there's something potentially wrong with your batch, I understand like which batch it was and I can correct it. I also am like, I do everything from my room or from the kitchen, or there's like a space down the street where I go and just do work there. So I just try to find spaces that work for me. because
okay.
I'm only one person.
I'm going to say, how do you do it by yourself? So I'm assuming the business is like small now. I mean, and is the plan to grow, scale, like maybe, I don't know, what comes next?
Yeah. So when I did the business consulting internship, I was consulting a business. I came back this year. They asked me to come back, and I was the business that they were consulting. So they gave me feedback on how to improve and how to scale my business. So I haven't read the report because I just recently got it, but I have to read the report and sit with it and just see what kind of feedback that they gave me. But one of the feedback was to get other people to assist me, because it's a one-person job as a solo entrepreneur, and just creating all the products by yourself, doing customer service, doing your website, all that stuff by yourself is just not realistic. It's possible, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot. I just can't do everything by myself.
No, I think honestly, Deja, I think anyone who's listening to you is like super impressed. Now you can see Mandy where I was like, you're my mentee, no questions asked. Because you just are like, you sound like me and Mandy now. Like on top of your stuff. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you're like, just for, the caveat, I'm only 90% financially whole. I'm like, girl, like at your age, the average is 0% financially whole. Like, and the fact that you've started a business so early. So one of my things that, I've really been leaning into now is like living well now. Like, how are you making space for Deja? Like, on top of all these impressive things that you're checking off your list, what about you as a young woman, as a person? How, like, what does that look like for you?
In terms of putting myself first?
Yeah, just like making space for you.
Taking care of myself.
Yeah, because I know, like, I love that your brand is about mental health. So it's like, how are you making sure that you're not burnt out, that you're not overworked and overwhelmed?
Well, working out is something that I do. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm really not good at prioritizing myself or my needs, because I have more like a go mentality and the job is going to get done regardless. So right now I'm learning or trying to learn how to put myself first and put my needs first, because I feel like I need to take care of everybody, not like in a savior, just like I like to be helpful. And sometimes that can be to your own detriment. So just trying to find ways to put myself first, even if that be just staying in the house and watching TV, because sometimes I'll just go see my grandmother. That's something I do too. I go see my grandmother because there's really not much I can do besides just spend time with her. So that's a way for me to decompress and just take time for myself. So doing things that I love is how I put myself first, or try to put myself first.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your why for your business? Why start a business at 24? I'm curious.
I feel like my business is larger than myself, just based off of what's happening in the world. People are committing suicide at alarming rates of many different ages. And I feel like people are more willing to have the conversations now, but it's more so how to create that space where it's safe and it's comfortable for other people. Honestly, somebody can say like, I'm feeling suicidal, but if we don't have the knowledge or language to best support them, there's really not much you can do. So I just want to provide people with that space to just know that I've been through what you've possibly been through. And even if I haven't, I'm just here to support you. And at least you know that there's a community of other people that can support you during a difficult time. Or even if you're not having a difficult time, maybe you could be that support for someone else.
Deja, you are just...
It's much deeper than just a product.
Yes. You're just amazing. And you are what's right with the world,
Thank you.
No, for real. And I just...
The children are our
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Deja, do you know that song? I know you don't.
I do. It's by Whitney Houston.
Okay, look at Deja. Yes. So
that old
we just
singer
honestly,
from the past. Yes.
We want to thank you so much, because I think folks who are listening, one, I don't want you to feel bad if you're listening like, oh my gosh, Deja is 24 and she's ahead of where I am. That instead, it's just that, like there is a bright light, that all is not lost. And sometimes we can get so overwhelmed with what's happening in the world that there are Dejas out there who are out here, like figuring out how to slay and pay it forward, And so I'm just really impressed by like, yes, you're driving your focus, but really too, like your heart for wanting, like, you saw something, that affected you deeply. And you created a solution around it, all my wish and hope for you is as you walk on this journey that you make sure to always incorporate taking care of yourself, like, because like this is what I tell Mandy all the time. Mandy, you're smart. You navigate with integrity. You work really hard. You're consistent. You always gonna have. You will always have. You don't have to like road runner your way through stuff. Like, because you have those things, you're always going to have. Will there be times when things are rough and tough? Certainly. But you're smart, you're consistent, you navigate with integrity, and you're hardworking. You will always have. But so knowing that part, it's like in your back pocket already, making sure that while you go get it, you are looking after yourself. Because that is not the guaranteed part. That's the part you have to make sure that you prioritize. Any words last words, Mandy, you want to share with Deja?
Yeah, I think you're extraordinary. And I think also when I was younger, when I started things, I would sometimes be really hard on myself about wanting to change my mind and like learning those lessons. And I feel like I wish I hadn't resisted that so much, because that's part of the beauty of like starting things at all and starting them young, because you can choose to go in different directions. Clearly you already are, exploring many different opportunities. And I just would say, stay open to new things and stay open to the lessons, and just know that, anything that you're learning from what you're doing now can be applicable like 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And I'm just so happy to know you, and happy to have gotten to know you. And
you'll be getting another mentor.
I'm going to set her up on a play date with my cousin Anna. That's all.
No, this is what we like. No,
I love matching. But I love matching women who have like similar interests, but also like at different stages. I think that's the most powerful thing. So if you want a new friend, I got one.
Yes, it's always
I'm not
that part.
To that.
Yes, that honestly, like, look at me and Mandy. Honestly, we help each other out so much. And so like having friends who are working toward what you're also working toward in similar ways is always so helpful. So Dasia, if the girls want to find you, where should they find you, your business, share all your stuff?
Okay, well, my Instagram is my name, Dasia_35. If you'd like me to spell it, it's DASIA_35. My TikTok is Deja Says So. And all of my information would be in the bio. My business is also Sincerely Sanguine on Instagram and all the other platforms as well. I have a question for Mandy. Is your name Amandra?
No. My name is Amanda. The joke is that, Tiff. Yeah. So like my whole life, for some reason, when people say my name at every graduation, every award ceremony, when they read my last name Woodruff, they conflate the end of Amanda, and it's always been Amandra Woodruff, and it happens so often. And then Tiff started doing it on the show, and she called me Mandra, and I'm like, this is my whole life. This is the name that people have given me. So it's not my actual name. It's what people say when they try to say my full name.
So I like to call her Mandra.
I only asked because my middle name is Amandra. So
what?
Yeah,
it's a real name.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
Deja, Amandra. Oh, see, I'm sorry, because in my mind, I'm just like, that's a mistake of a name. It's not a real thing. Wow.
No, that is a real thing. I was like, I finally found somebody with that exact name, but then that's not even your name.
Not really. No, it's not, unless you're saying it wrong.
We were all like, Mandra. Oh, wait, that's your name, girl? My bad.
I thought she was going to be like, oh, she's going to ask me a career question because she just is so impressed by me. Meanwhile.
But Deja, honestly, we thank you so much for coming on. You are literally just an inspiration to me, and so many people are going to listen and be like, oh my gosh, she sounds awesome. You're like an example, like I said, of like the possibilities that are out there. So keep on pushing. You're not alone. You can lean into me and Mandy, and then you'll have a new friend. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is actually my first podcast, and I was a little nervous. My stomach was literally in my throat. Aww. But I feel so much better now. Tell. Yeah, I know. I feel so much better. So thank you for the words of wisdom, and I'll definitely keep this moment near and dear to my heart.
Aww. It won't be the last time, okay? This is just your first, and each time will get easier and better.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you so much.
You are an awesome guest. You're welcome. Hey, BA fam. We're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.